Okay, great. Let's have a look at this cool sounding reverb by Strymon, and it's called Blue Sky. It's I think you can buy a bigger version, which is called Big Sky, and smaller version, which is called Blue Sky. I like the size of this device because it's just easy to fit into your pedal board, and you know, especially if you have an amp without any reverb like this. This I got here. It's a very useful device. This is how it sounds without the reverb. It's dry, of course, right? You know, in a lot of situations you would use this sound because it's just kind of pure sound of the amp, so this is great. But there will be some situations you need to add some overdrive, some reverb, and this little thing is going to do the job. Okay, so let's talk about the functionality. So we've got two switches here. This one here is activating the device, and this one here, you can basically save the preset. I've got something like this here. Can you hear this cool sound? So basically it's adding, I think, the octave to your tone, which kind of doubles the tone of your guitar. It sounds awesome. And I'm pretty sure you could use this device also with the keyboard or another devices. It doesn't have to be connected to the guitar, right? So look, this mix knob here is quite obvious one. This is the knob that's going to add the amount of the reverb. Listen to this. This is full on. So it kind of creates the effect that you are very deep in the room. They use this kind of the effects in the movies. Did you notice, for instance, at the beginning of the movie when the actor is walking to the club and you can hear the music from the distance, and then as he walks in, the music is more present, and then when you walk into the room, you can hear the music properly. So they actually use in the music industry reverberation to create this kind of the special effects. Okay, so this is the mix knob. So it's basically mixing the dry signal when you turn this complete down here, left. It's just pure sound of the amp. So you basically mix up and you add some of the reverb to it. Okay, so you have to just choose desired amount of the reverb. And here we go. Now look, Decay knob here, the next one, the big one here, is kind of the knob that's going to add the amount. How intense is the effect? Listen to this. There's nothing happening here. Let me. It's very short, right? But look, if I add some, can you hear? It's getting more and more of the effect. When you put this fully like that, it just lasts forever. I'm pretty sure there will be in certain situation you could use something like this. Okay, just probably when you play with the band, it might be too much of the reverb, so you have to find the perfect amount that suits you. Okay, so this knob here, mix, is responsible for balancing the tone, so balancing the amount of the reverb you're adding. So from 0 complete dry signal to you add, you know, the desired amount, and then the decay knob is basically responsible for the amount of the effect itself. So you start from the kind of imagine small room and you expand the size of the room. So this is how it works. Okay, and now look, let's talk about these knobs here, okay? Now look, what we have here is something which is called pre-delay. This one is very interesting. Pre-delay knob is going to kind of delay the starting point of this reverb. Listen, I've got this pre-delay thing turned down, so there is nothing. So I can hear instantly that my reverb is responding instantly. But look, if I go to the extreme here, can you hear? It's almost like the signal traveled through the tunnel and it hit the wall at the end. And this is why it's delayed. You know when you're in the mountains, you've got this effect, you say like, "Hoo!" And after a while you hear, "Hoo! Hoo!" So it's very similar thing. So this is pre-delay. Basically imagine that, that the microphone is very, very far away from the source. And this is why it takes time to travel to this, okay? You can definitely create very interesting tones. So you know that there is a usage for this kind of things also, yeah? When you use this with the chords, for instance, it's almost invisible, kind of, but what it does, it's extending my chord. I can feel that I've got some kind of the help behind, which is kind of extending this chord. Can you hear it still ringing, right? So this is how many guitarists are using reverb, for instance, to add some kind of the background to the chords. Many times they use also proper delay, okay? So it'll create the same kind of the sound. But these are very cool, you know, effects you can use, yeah? So let's add some more amount of the effects. So look. And even more. Can you hear this now? It's like a shoot. So this is pre-delay, and when I turn this down, so look, in the middle, let's say, it's slightly delayed. It's almost connected with the chord, so it's like. Sounds great. Okay, so let's go back to the middle position. By the way, with any pedal, I guess starting at 12 o'clock might be a good idea, because it may kind of, you may get everything of half, every single, you know, half of of every setup. Okay, so this is it might be a good starting point. Now look, we've got also here something which is called low dump. It works like an EQ. Look, if I turn this left and completely right, you can't hear this probably properly. But it's kind of more this reverb that I'm hearing. It's got more of the lower end. It's got more bass added. And now look, if I turn this down, and now up, fully up. It sounds pretty good. The same is with the other knob, which is called high dump. When you go from complete down, it's going basically to cut high frequencies, so it's more like tone up on the guitar, right? If I go completely up, I'm going to have more high frequencies. Okay, so this is what this knob does. They do when they put them together up. different effect. Okay, you have to, as usual, you have to use your ears to find the perfect balance. Okay, so I will keep them in the middle. Now look, let's have a look on this selectors here. This is a very interesting thing. Basically, the first one is called the mode. So in the mode function, you can go from kind of normal mode. So let's say, look, let's put this up. So maybe look, on this side we've got mode, which is normal, mode, and shimmer, and on this one, on this side we've got type. So we can go from the plate to the room, to the what is it? To the spring. Okay. So look, maybe if I explain this one, it will be easier to understand at first. So look, this is the sound of the plate. Look, if I add more of the effect plate. This kind of the thing, this terminology refers to the old recording techniques when the studios will have special kind of devices and special rooms designed to create this kind of the space in the music, okay? Because guitarists find out at some point that it may sound a bit dry if you just play on the guitar, you know, just like this. This is why a lot of acoustic gigs takes place in the church, because the church has got this kind of the acoustic that enhance the reverberation of the instrument, and it creates these nice effects. Or did you ever try to jump, for instance, on the you know, in the long hall? It sounds awesome. I used to do it when I was a kid, to take acoustic guitar and just play in the long hall. It sounded just awesome because it added this nice reverb, okay? So reverb is kind of the thing that, in my opinion, it adds some kind of confidence to your music playing because you got some kind of the digital support behind you, okay? This is how I see the reverb. Okay, so this is normal plate. Okay, now the second setup will be the room. So the room is basically, imagine that you've got a room of different sizes, okay? And with this knob, you can change the size of the room. So go from the small one to the big one. You know, sometimes you can hear in certain places when you clap, you can hear this, you know, thing in the between the ceiling and the wall. This is kind of the reverb, and sometimes the desired effect, but sometimes people are trying to avoid this kind of situations. So again, in the past, we had different kind of you know, rooms in the studios, like small room to create short, very short reverb, or bigger rooms to create, you know, more spacey reverb. And look, this is how it sounds. This is the small room. Okay, it's very short reverb. And if you, for instance, if you increase the pre-delay and you put this fully, this is what you have. Or okay, so this is reverb fully on. Let's cut this down and look. Let's increase the size of the room. Let's go 10 o'clock. It's definitely bigger, right? And now 12 o'clock. Also bigger. And let's go 2 o'clock. So this room is turning into the hall, really, right? And now look, fully on. This is the hall now, yeah? Let's kill this. Let's make this a bit less. Let's see. Okay, so with some overdrive. This is how it sounds. So this is basically now the decay knob is kind of increasing the room. Okay, so this is the room setup, and the last one we've got something which is called spring, and basically refers to normal spring you would have in the amps, okay? Because some of the amps are coming with the reverb built in. These days, it's quite common to see digital reverb built into the amp. So it's kind of, you got this kind of the unit built into the amp, which sounds great. But some guitar purists, they prefer the sound of the spring, which is real spring, that kind of, you take the signal from the spring tongue, you know, that is built in the amp itself, okay? So this thing is simulating the same idea. Let's see. Usually, if it's a good simulation, what you'll do, you'll kind of, can you hear this? Click. It's kind of simulating the kick that normal spring will get, because if the amp will get very loud and you hit this note like this, the spring will kind of go like that. Okay, so this is it's a pretty good simulation actually here. Okay, and again, of course, you can have less. This is more roomy sounding now. I think in a lot of cases, when you use these effects, they kind of overlap with each other. They kind of can create these different modes. They create different, a little bit different voicings, but at the same time, they're similar for certain settings. So you have to just find your own voice on this pedal, okay, and just stick to it. When I go now back to the beginning and I set the plate, and now I operate with the knobs on this side here, so I'm going to change modification of this. This is normal. Okay, but now look, the first, oops, yeah, this is the normal, good. Now the first mode is here. There's no change in sound. This is before, excuse me, this is before, and this is after. It's kind of different quality, yeah? Let's hear on the longer one. Here. It kind of serves as the improved version of the thing. I think a lot of times you have to just listen to these things. And then when you go to the Shimmer one, this one is going to add this 1 octave higher tone. Which sounds like church, you know, organ or something like this, yeah? Maybe increase the amount of the effect. Let's see. Perfect balance, probably, yeah. Let's see how this effect, this shimmer, sounds over spring one, okay? Sounds pretty good. So, very interesting sound, yeah? Shimmer sound to the room, set it up. Depending on the size. And you can actually create very interesting effects. Like a French or something like this, yeah? So. Okay, so these are modes you can have here. Now look, there's one more feature here. You can choose, this is basically on this side when you got this knob activated. Everything you are changing here when it comes to the knobs, position of the knobs, is going to instantly affect the sound, yeah? So this is kind of reflection of what's happening at the time. But when you press this switch here, it's going to recall my own settings, okay? So I may choose some settings. For instance, here I may choose the setup and press this knob longer, and it's going to memorize my setup of all these things, okay? Which is a great thing, of all these knobs positions, okay? So now it's playing basically my own kind of preset here, okay? So it's a very gentle again shimmer. Sounds pretty cool. So you can play with this, you know, for hours and hours. So reverbs are really great addition to kind of if you want to expand the tone of your guitar. Just let me remind you, this is how it sounds without the reverb. And now with this effect. Really add some kind of the unique sound to your to the overall tone of the guitar. Okay, so highly recommended unit. Yeah, give it a try and see if it fits, you know, into your pedal board and if you like the sound. There are also different brands, you know, like I think Boss is producing some reverbs and all this stuff. I think that what is different with the Strymon though, it's that these are very high quality reverbs kind of in this box. They are really good, like almost like studio quality. So they are going to really sound amazing, especially when you play this louder, okay? So I guess this is why these units are quite popular, okay? And you can get also this Big Sky, I think, which has got similar effects, but now you can set this up in a more in-depth. So this is kind of quick access unit. I like the size of this box because I can easily place this on my pedal board. And it doesn't take too much space, and also it's kind of straightforward when it comes to using this stuff. Now at the back you can't see this, but you can also connect. You can connect this unit as a stereo. So you've got two inputs, left and right, and then two outputs, left and right. So if you connect this as a stereo unit, it's going to create this kind of the nice space. So if you hear this through the headphones, you create more realistic sound around your head. Okay, so. This is another thing that you may check and see how it sounds. So very, very cool stuff when it comes to recording, because you don't have to only use this through the amp. Okay, by the way, I connected this through the loop section of the amp because this is where usually when you would place your reverb. So the reverb is coming after the overdrive and all this stuff. So the overdrive is not. So the reverb is not processing the overdrive in a fun way, okay? Or maybe the other way. So overdrive is not processing the reverb in a strange way. But you know, when you have older amp and these amps don't have loop section, you have to just place this in front of the amp. So I guess you have to play then with the amount of the stuff you may use and see how it works. I hope you enjoyed the review. It's a really cool unit. I love this. They're quite pricey. I think they're like £240 in the UK. But you can always try, especially in the UK. You can take the box home, and if you don't like it, you can always return this. At least in Undertone's shop, this one I usually buy. This is how it works. So you can always connect this to your amp, because I think the most important thing is to see if it fits into your rig, how it sounds with your guitar and the amp, because these units for different amps will sound different. Of course, the kind of the base of the sound will be the same, but because of the different size of this different speaker and different kind of preamp, it may kind of efface certain qualities of the unit that are not otherwise visible in the other amps. This amp is quite dark sounding, and I really like the sound because it sounds dark. So it's not very kind of very like your ears cutting device. Okay, so try this for yourself, and it's highly recommended unit. So see if it works for you. I hope you enjoyed this review. One more time, I have to repeat this because I'm hijacked my own end up. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you like these videos, just subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next lesson or review.